Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked with Gary Allen. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked with Gary Allen.
All right. What is going on, everybody? On YouTube, on Spotify, what's happening on TikTok, all the social medias out there? What is going on? Where's James Gunn with this announcement? Dude, is this Friday? No announcement yet. Getting ahead of myself. This is episode 29 of Gettin Geeked with your boy. On today's episode of Gettin Geeked, man, I just want to, before I start this podcast, I want to shout out every single one of you that's been checking out my content, that's been listening, that's been commenting in the comment sections. We've been having conversations. Thank you. We have reached 1,000 subscribers on the YouTube channel. I started the channel way back in 2012, 2013, around there. So around 10 years I've been working on this channel off and on. I started out doing skateboard videos, and then I did movie trailer reactions for about 2 years. Back when the algorithm was on one, everybody was getting views for trailer reactions. And now trailer reactions are, the movie studios have caught on for movie trailer reactions. So they encourage trailer reactions. Back in the day, everybody was getting claimed, and people do still get claimed for doing reactions, but now they're not getting blocked. The studios are just taking the money from it. So I don't really do as many trailer reactions anymore. It's got to be like a super sick movie. Like, I like doing the trailer reaction to Batman v Superman back then, because at the time Civil War was also happening for Marvel. It was just it was just a totally different era. I digress, but I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been following me, that's been subscribing and liking the content. It's only gonna go up from here. We're going up, everybody. We are going up. But yes, on today's episode, Titans and Doom Patrol got canceled. Shazam 2 trailer. We're gonna talk about the whack CGI. Tobey Maguire wants another bag. He wants to come back for Spider-Man. No shit. Blade is in the news, not because of any good news, I should say. Dorff is bashing Marvel and superhero movies. And then we got some Obi-Wan Kenobi news, possibly, all on today's episode of Gettin Geeked. Yes. Okay. Hot take here. I called it 2 months ago. I called it, guys. Titans and Doom Patrol is ending. They are ending after their current seasons. They're both getting 4 full seasons. They are getting to end on their note. Apparently, James Gunn had nothing to do with these cancellations, I should say. He's got nothing to do with it. He's like, hey, that happened before I took over. Nothing I can do about it. And then everybody on Twitter, what do you mean you're the CEO of DC? But can't you reverse it? And it's like, no, you think he wants to reverse it? He wants a clean slate. Like I said, even if James Gunn isn't responsible for the cancellation of Doom Patrol and Titans, it's good for him. Because you know what? Now he gets an even more of a clean slate. Oh shit, I'm over here dropping shit. I'm dropping water bottles. I'm dropping shit, guys. Listen, he absolutely does not want muddy waters. So the cleaner the slate, the better. So yeah, Titans is ending. Doom Patrol is ending. I haven't even watched the current season of Doom Patrol. I'm about 3.5 seasons in. Titans, I gave up on season 4 after Superboy was acting like a douchebag because Lex Luthor, his part of the Lex Luthor DNA is now activated or something. It just got too convoluted and whack. I might check it out when it's over and just go back and bust through it. But other than that, guys, there's nothing to report on as far as Titans and Doom Patrol. They got canceled. I wouldn't even say canceled. They're just ending because they're getting to do their ending. They're getting the chance to end things on a high note. It's not a sudden cancellation. So it's not like There's no reason to be up in arms about this unless you're just on that hashtag fire James Gunn trend. You're just being salty and you're just being a hater at this point. So yes, Titans and Doom Patrol, they had a good run. They did their thing. They told their stories. And some stories were better than others. I'm not here to... Those shows were fine. They're fine. What do you guys think about the cancellations of Titans and Doom Patrol? Are those your favorite shows? Do you think they should have went on for 6-10 seasons? Let me know in the comment section. And let's talk about it, guys. Continuing this DC news trend without the James Gunn announcement, Shazam 2 had a trailer drop. And oh boy, was that a topic of conversation. Well, where's Black Adam? Listen. I'm not hyped for Shazam 2. I'm just going to say it point blank. That first trailer came out and it wasn't really winning me over. And then this trailer came out. They showed the whole third act. They showed the whole movie basically. And all I'll say about it for now is I was more hyped for Black Adam, and that turned out to be okay. So it's not looking good for Shazam 2, just in my opinion, okay? Once again, I bash Marvel for their blue screen usage. Now DC is DC's turn. What's going on with your blue screen? What's going on with your CGI? It looks like ass, guys. It looks like ass, dude. There might be a reboot coming out of the DC universe. Doesn't mean you should slack on the special effects and the blue screen. It's like, what's the budget of these movies? Let these VFX people get to work. I'll say it. They've been boycotting because they are overworked and underpaid. The VFX artists. Multiple articles saying they're about to strike. Their union is going to get involved. They want to unionize. They don't like being taken advantage of by Warner Brothers and Disney. Overloaded on VFX on a small amount of time. That's why you get these whack blue screen effects. And the way it doesn't blend, the color grade doesn't blend with the blue screen at all. And people are like, oh, it's fine. Well, we need to strive to be more than just fine at this point. As far as superhero movies, comic book movies, there's a reason why these movies aren't getting nominated for as many Oscars as they should. It's because they look like shit. It looks like ass. And this topic will roll into a new topic about Blade and Stephen Dorff's comments about how superhero movies are trash and they're making a lot of money, but they're shitty and they're not going to get remembered. So Shazam 2, yeah, it's not looking good. I'm kind of over the kiddish kid in an adult body shtick that Zachary Levi is portraying in this movie. It looks like the same thing as the last movie. It doesn't look like he's learning anything. He's not growing. It's been a couple years. You would think he would get a little bit more mature. I'm not seeing that from this trailer. From a story perspective, I should say. It's just not. I don't know. Because you're not. And people are like, well, where's this movie leading to? Can't you just enjoy it? And then other people are like, well, can't you just enjoy the movie for what it is? That's a Shazam movie. No, not anymore. People want a grand story. You can, and I said this last week, you can have your standalone movies that don't connect. But you have to earn that. You have to have your shared universe first. And then you can go off and do your side stories. If it's all side stories, it's just a bunch of stuff at the wall, bro. They're throwing stuff at the wall. Oh, that's separate. That's separate. It's lazy because they don't want to take the time to create something, a cohesive universe that makes sense. And the fact that Dwayne Johnson's like, I don't even want a cameo in this movie. And yeah, Black Adam wasn't that great. It was fine. It's like a 7.5 out of 10 or whatever, C+, And the fact that he doesn't even want a cameo in Shazam 2, it's not looking good, guys. What do you guys think about the Shazam 2 trailer? Comment below in the comment section. Do you like the CGI, the blue screen? Do you not care? Are you looking for it? I am. I don't know. I'm just over this blue screen stuff. I'm excited for Joker 2 at this point. I just want physical locations. I want real stories getting told here. They're not utilizing the volume and the blue screen like they should. They're cutting corners. It's just underpaying the VFX people. What do you guys think? Comment below in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Coming up next. Okay. Stephen Dorff is in the news. And if you don't know who Stephen Dorff is, he was Deacon Frost, the villain from Blade, the first Blade with Wesley Snipes. Way back in 1998, they made a movie. New Line Cinema made a Marvel movie, right? And that's funny. They made that movie way back in 1998. And it's still the top 5 best comic books to ever get made. Top 5, easily. Out of all those Marvel movies, like 30 plus MCU movies, Blade is still the one I go back to the most. It gets rewatched the most. You know why? It has a good story. The characters are on point. The cinematography is on point. The color grade is on point. The score is on point. The fight choreography, it's on point. It hits all of those things. And they set such a high bar. Stephen Dorff was in the news. He said, good luck with that PG Blade movie, Reboot. How's that coming along? Your directors keep quitting. You got to rewrite the script from the ground up. Good luck with that PG Blade movie. Good luck with it. And a lot of people are getting upset. But you know what? Like I keep saying, Hollywood isn't here to hold your guys' hand. They're not here to hold your hand. Oh, Marvel movies are great. And listen, if Stephen Dorff cared about the MCU, which he clearly doesn't, this guy's like, listen, those movies may make a lot of they may make a lot of money, but they're whack. They're cheap looking, even though they're super expensive. They're not going to be memorable. That's what he said. And you don't have to like his opinion, but you know, this guy, he portrayed Frost. He's not like a reoccurring villain, right, in Marvel. He set that standard high for a villain. He doesn't have to do any new movies if he doesn't want to, because that Blade movie, it still has yet to get knocked down from top 5 best comic book movies. It doesn't matter how old it is. They've yet to replicate that. That's why they're having trouble with this Blade movie. So I totally back Steven's comments 100%. I've been saying most of these comic book movies now, they're like McDonald's. It's super good when you eat it. And it's cheap to get. Well, it used to be cheap to get McDonald's, but it's just, and after a while, it's just, you're consuming and consuming and consuming. It's McDonald's, man. Blade from 1998, that's a steak dinner. You get everything. It's superb. It's peak cinema. It's what you strive for when you want to make a comic book movie. Back in the day, people didn't even know Blade was a comic book. That's how good it was. They're like, oh shit, this is a comic book? This is a comic book movie? People want to say, oh, the X-Men started the superhero craze. No, it was Blade, guys. It was Blade way back in the day, 1998. Yeah, and then you got X-Men, and then you got Spider-Man. None of that happened. Oh, well, you got Dredd was better than Blade. And was it? Was it? Debatable. That rave sequence is yet to be topped for an opening of a movie. The gore, I just go on and on about Blade. But anyways, what do you guys think about Stephen Dorff's comments? Is he wrong? Do you think he's wrong to make those statements? Does he have to be relevant? Because if somebody's like, name 3 Stephen Dorff movies, and then somebody else is like, I can name 3 Dwayne Johnson movies, and they're all ass. So it doesn't matter if you're relevant and if you're doing movies every year. If you're making shitty movies, then they're shitty movies. And Blade is not a shitty movie. Many people in my TikTok community have agreed with me, saying yes, Blade is peak. Oh, the rave sequence is dope. Some people say, well, Blade 2 is a little bit better. And you know, I don't have any problems with Blade 2 except for like the color grading. They go, Guillermo del Toro, he has like a yellowish, greenish color grade to that movie. And I prefer the first Blade where it's more of a blue, red kind of cinematography. But that's just like for aesthetic reasons. But when your film is like nailing the color grade, that just ramps up your movie like 80% and just ramps it up. So, and then the MCU, they barely focused. They're just now focusing on color grade because they're going into space and they're doing this cosmic stuff. They're just now focusing on it, and it's only in it's not in all, it's not in the entire movie. It's only like single shots. They focus on the cinematography, like in Ragnarok when Valkyrie is going slow mo on the horse, ripping off Zack Snyder, and then they focus on the cinematography, and then Thor again in Love and Thunder when Thor was in that on that planet with Gore the God Butcher when it was in black and white. That sequence was a couple minutes and that's it. That was the best part of the movie because it looked cinematic. It's just, these movies need to be more cinematic, and that's why people love Zack Snyder and Larry Fong as a cinematographer, because they make their films look cinematic, guys. Watchmen, cinematic. 300, not really a comic book movie, but it's cinematic. Blade is cinematic. What do you guys think about Stephen Dorff's comments? Let me know in the comments section. Let's go. I know it's going to make a lot of people mad. He's not here to hold your hand, guys. This dude's put in the work. He doesn't have to hold your hand. Let's go. Let's talk about it. Coming up next, Tobey Maguire's in the news. Peter Parker himself. Oh, he says, I would love to come back for Spider-Man. If they gave me a call, I would be there. Well, that's great to hear. I was going to call him Peter Parker. That's great to hear, Peter Parker. Come on back. Give that man his money. Do it while you can. Make that movie. Make Spider-Man 4. Put him in Secret Wars. Kang Dynasty even. I don't know. Secret Wars. That's probably where we're going to see him. But Sony's doing their own thing with their spin-off movies, right? That's cool. They should have announced 2 spin-offs after No Way Home. Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 3 with Andrew Garfield. And they should have announced Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire just while it was hot. They should have been filming those movies right now. Boom, boom, boom. Ramp, and then tie those stories into Secret Wars. But that's not what we're doing. That's what I would do. But when I'm hearing that Tobey is down to come back, unlike Andrew Garfield, where he's kind of like, well, I don't really know. I'm kind of doing my theater thing right now. So even Andrew Garfield's kind of like backing off of that energy that was from No Way Home. So to hear that Tobey Maguire is down to come back, that's kind of, it's a no-brainer because obviously it's a check for him. But it's also like, I didn't think he would want to come back because he did his thing in No Way Home. But to see Sam Raimi come back and Tobey do that movie, it's not going to be like Spider-Man 4 that we were going to get with Vulture, obviously, because it's been 20 years at this point, almost. 2007. Not there yet. But there's been some years. So, what would the story be for Tobey coming back? Would he train a Miles Morales? Would he have a family? Is he having marital problems with MJ? That's probably what we would focus on, where he is in his life at this point. And then some villain, it could be a Vulture. They could use Vulture from Spider-Man 4, the old script or whatever, comes in to mess up his family dynamic. And he has to balance the fact that he's got kids now. He can't always be out being a superhero, putting his life in danger. But he still has that responsibility because he's Spider-Man. And then he's dealing with the fact that he was in a different universe. And now he knows Avengers exist in another world. So there's a lot to explore with a Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 4. Let me know in the comments and let's talk about it. Because they can go very different route with that. We could do like a Logan type Spider-Man movie where he's on his last legs and he's got to hand it off to a Miles Morales. If they wanted to do that, they could. Because we know Sony isn't shy of the Spider-Verse and having different Earths. So, yeah, man, I'm hyped. Come on, Tobey, come back. Come on, Sony, make that movie. That's just printing money at this point. But how much money would they want to put into a Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire? Because as many of you know, Spider-Man 3 was very expensive. I think it was $300 million. That budget ballooned up to $300 million. And that's a no-go for a superhero movie. The studios right now, they don't want to spend over 150 million. If it's going towards like a $200 million budget, that's like, ugh, that's, I wouldn't place your bets. Studios they're not really excited to spend $200 million on a superhero movie. That's why you're getting movies like Joker, super low budget. So what do you guys think about this news? Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 4, Sony Pictures, possible Miles Morales? Who knows? Let me know. And to close out the show, Ewan McGregor's in the news talking about Obi-Wan. Oh, I would love to come back as Obi-Wan. All these actors are like in the news this week. Oh, I would love to come back to play that character. Is the tax man coming for all these actors? Like, do they need the money? Like, what's going on here? Would I want an Obi-Wan season 2? Well, let's talk about that. I would like an Obi-Wan season 2. I would want a new showrunner, a new director, new writers, new cast. Basically, I would want a rebooted season 2. And I'm not talking about a retcon. They don't got to retcon anything that happened in the last season of Obi-Wan. They just need to take it to a different direction. They need to scale it down. Really have Obi-Wan focus on Obi-Wan. Him as a character, the growth he's experiencing with Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon. Really keep it small. Keep your costs down. Because, but listen, I'm the majority here. Most people didn't like Obi-Wan, but that series is like getting nominated, I think, from the Directors Guild, or there's some guild or nominated what's her name, Deborah Chow, the director of Obi-Wan. I don't know why. Like, what are they seeing that everybody else is not seeing? Obi-Wan 2 was all over the place. The pacing of the show was off. The story elements were off. They're focusing on a bunch of different characters that weren't Obi-Wan Kenobi. You got Reva's getting more screen time than Hayden Christensen in an Obi-Wan series. That's just ridiculous and should have never happened, right? You get the reunion of a lifetime. It's been 2005. It's been since 2005 Hayden and Ewan has shared the screen together. And Hayden barely got any screen time. They put him off in the distance wearing a hood, and then he was in a couple flashback sequences that lasted like a minute in the whole season. And then you got the last Vader fight at the end, and granted, you got the cracked helmet, like we saw in Rebels. All that was great. But, this show should have been a dynamic, a half Obi-Wan, half Vader from each perspective. Where are they at in both of their lives, and how are they going to collide and cross paths? That's what season 2 needs to do. They need to fix it. But they decided to focus on the Inquisitors. Like, that's not something that you should do in an Obi-Wan series. I love the Inquisitors. Rebels is sick, and what they're doing with the Inquisitors, that's all sick, right? Make an Inquisitor series, a separate series with Reva and all that stuff. That would have been fine, and nobody would have cared. But when you try to put your own stuff, like your own flavor into the Obi-Wan show, and that's Reva and the Inquisitors, and you're taking away from Vader, Anakin, Obi-Wan, all the story elements that most of the fans want to see play out, and it's barely there, and you have filler, because all that new stuff, it just comes off as filler. Like, get to the main point. Get to the main story, what we're doing here. Especially if you only have 6 to 8 episodes. What are you doing? And each episode's like 30 minutes? What are you doing? Got fans making fan edits that are like 2 hours and are way better? Come on. I'm not even going into the cinematography and the set design of Obi-Wan. That's a whole nother conversation. The budgets that Disney had. Disney has all the money. And they're not putting money into Obi-Wan. But they're putting that money into Andor, a spin-off character of a spin-off prequel. Come on, guys. What is going on over there at Lucasfilm? What is going on over there at Disney? They have all the money in the world. Avatar just made $2 billion. The last Avatar came out in 2009, right? And you have all these Star Wars movies and all these MCU movies coming out, all this money coming in, and you guys can't put the budget where it counts into your Obi-Wan series, the return of Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen? Come on, man. It's just, Oh, that was so disappointing. It was so disappointing. Every week I'm like, I hope they nail it. Hope they nail it. And then all of us get bashed online because we're voicing our opinions and we happen to be the majority opinion. It's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. Anyways, what do you guys think about Obi-Wan, or Ewan McGregor, I should say, wanting to come back for season 2? He said he loved working with everybody. I'm down. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I am down. Comment below in the comment section. As we're wrapping up Gettin Geeked podcast for this week, a little show on HBO Max has been out. We're 2 episodes in, The Last of Us. Now, I was debating on wanting to cover The Last of Us because I didn't play the game. So I'm neither biased nor non-biased when it comes to The Last of Us. I watched the cutscene gameplay, the cutscene movies basically from The Last of Us 1, and I know the spoilers for for Last of Us Part 2. I know what happens, but yes, I don't know anything else at that point. So I did watch the cutscenes from the first game, and so far I'm really digging the first couple episodes of The Last of Us. There's some kind of blue screen issues, color grade problems, but when it comes to the story, the action, I have no problems with the cast. Pedro Pascal's killing it as Joel, and I don't know the actress's name that plays Ellie, but she was getting roasted online. Oh, she was a miscast, and come on, guys, she's doing great. She's doing great. She's hiding her accent very well. So yeah, when it comes to Last of Us, season 2 got greenlit. We're getting a season 2, which is great. That means I can watch season 1 stress-free, not worrying, oh shit, is this show going to get canceled after the first season? Now we don't have to worry about it. Because now we know we're at least going to get a completed story. I don't imagine this show getting season 3 or 4. I think they're going to do seasons 1 and seasons 2, covering first game and the second game. And I think that's going to be it. I don't think this is going to be a Walking Dead situation where we're going to get a bunch of seasons and a bunch of spin-offs. I don't think we're going to do that here because HBO Max, or I should say HBO, it's all about quality over quantity. They'll cancel some shit. They don't care. So, and The Last of Us is getting high views, man. Not as high as House of the Dragon, but I think they said it came in second, and then the following week it almost doubled in viewership or something. So that's very good news. That's exactly why I got a season 2 renewal. I'm really hyped for it. Like I said, I don't really have any stakes in the game. They changed the plot points around, how the virus spreads. There's no spores. So, because, they would have to wear gas masks the whole time in the show, I guess. Because if it's airborne, then you really can't walk anywhere because you're going to get infected. It's just how it works. I liked all the flashback stuff of homeboy, what's his name? Hannah, the guy from The Mummy. He's explaining the virus and how there's no cure. All that stuff is sick. And, they're really ballsy with their storytelling, and they're not scared to kill off characters. So I'm really stoked for episode 3 of The Last of Us. We're seeing, what's his name? From Parks and Rec. He's joining in episode 3. Dude with the mustache. Oh, his name is not coming to my mind right now. But yes, The Last of Us, a little bonus. That was a little bonus topic for today. What do you guys think about The Last of Us? Are you upset about the changes from the game? Are you one of those fans who are like, it's gotta be just like the game? Do you like the cast? What do you guys think about the cinematography? Like I was saying, most of it looks fantastic. But when they're outside, and like the big landscapes and the buildings, the compositing is a little sometimes, but like 95% of it looks fine. So looks amazing, I should say, because striving to be better than just fine at this point in 2023. Anyways, what do you guys think of The Last of Us? Comment below in the comment section. Let's do it. Another episode. It's been episode 29 of Gettin Geeked. 29 of these motherfuckers. We're doing it, guys. Like and subscribe on the channel. We're going to 10,000 subscribers now. We're at 1,000. Now we're going to 10,000. We're going to 10x this channel. Let's do it. Follow me on TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff, on Spotify. I'm working on getting the podcast on the Apple. I don't really use Apple devices or none of that stuff, but I know some of you guys out there do use Apple. So I'm working on getting the podcast on Apple. Anyways, it's been episode 29. Yes, James Gunn didn't drop his news, so unfortunately I won't be covering his stuff in this episode of the podcast. But if he drops it after I post this, I will be making separate short form content on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels. Instagram's kind of whack, but I will be covering the James Gunn stuff when it drops. Whenever it drops, I'm gonna be covering it. So stay tuned, stick around on these channels. I'll keep you posted. Just make sure you follow me, turn on your notifications, and go fuck yourselves. Let's go.
Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked with Gary Allen. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked. Gettin Geeked with Gary Allen.